Matanggal na nung change your name? Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting our program in exactly 1:30. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. May I request everyone to please look at their respective screens for our house rules. Kindly turn off your microphones and camera during the speakers' presentations. During the presentation of speakers, take some notes and park your questions. There will be an open forum after the whole pitching presentation. Feel free to use the Zoom Q&A chat box and type in those questions. For those who are watching the stream via Facebook, key in those questions you might have on the comment section. I will read them for you. The program is about to start in 4 minutes, so just sit tight and relax. Thank you very much. For those who cannot rename their names on the Zoom, please just leave it as is. So again, thank you. We'll be starting in a short while. Good afternoon to our participants and guests. Earlier, we had the Technology Transfer Day 1, which focused on commercializing agri-technology. We had Dr. Richard Calhoun and Mr. Joel Lacerda as our guest speakers. The former had a talk about the 10 essential elements of commercializing technologies, while the latter talked about the roles, trends, and challenges of the biologics and soil amendments. For those who were able to attend this morning's event, I hope you had a great time. Welcome everyone to this afternoon's event entitled Kapihan 2021 NETPitch Season 1 Sustainable Agriculture. I am Neil and I will be your host for this afternoon's affair. This event would not be possible without the support of the following institutions: UPLB Techno Transfer and Business Development Office, the Southeast Asian Regional Center for Graduate Study and Research in Agriculture, or SEARCA, and the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development, or CARD. Again, thank you very much for your overwhelming support.
The evolving context of agriculture, rural development, and state of farmers as aligned with global goals focus on the contribution of agriculture to hunger and malnutrition eradication. SEARCA has embraced the rhythms of change with new, innovative practices to transform the lives of farmers and the agricultural industry. With its mission to elevate the quality of life of agricultural families through sustainable and resilient livelihoods, SEARCA steers agriculture from the traditional farming production towards an agribusiness perspective in a modern agriculture ecology by accelerating transformation through agricultural innovation to attain Agriculture 4.0. The SEARCA innovates model of open collaboration with academe industry government interconnectivity is a combination of independent but highly integrated component tool designed to attain sustainable development goals through Agriculture 4.0, a modern world transformed by innovative technologies, processes, and dynamics. The SEARCA innovates component tools include Index. As the research and information arm of projects powered by the SEARCA innovates model of open collaboration. Serves. Specialists and experts for rural viable emerging solutions that identify and implement innovative but practical solutions to persistent farming challenges. Ideates. Innovation competitions that focus on engaging the youth, children, students, and brilliant minds in promoting agri-innovation to modernize agriculture and build local rural innovation ecosystems. Blocks. Building linkages and open collaboration for knowledge systems is an innovative and open shared service hub promoting locally adaptable agri-technologies that can be adopted by small farmers and rural communities. A for Life, Agriculture 4.0 livelihood integration towards farming enterprises for building local and community-based innovation ecosystems and inclusive agribusiness value chains to produce a generation of green startups and agripreneurs. And Space, the Southeast Asia platform to attain collaboration and empowerment for a powerful innovation and open collaboration gateway for agri-incubation and technology transfer information, programs, resources, and networks in the world where SEARCA operates. Powered by SEARCA Innovates Model, the Emerging Innovation for Growth, EIG, as the new program in SEARCA's 11th five-year plan steps out from old ways that are no longer farmer benefiting to attain Agriculture 4.0 under three focus areas, namely open collaboration and agri-incubation, knowledge and technology transfer tools, and project development monitoring and evaluation. SEARCA partners to usher farmers out of the belief that farming is limited to production as an agribusiness operating in a modern agriculture ecosystem for better, bigger, smarter impact to farmers and farming families.
Get involved, spread the word. SEARCA innovates. If you're connected with a group that supports agriculture for farming families, we invite you to collaborate with our academe, industry, government partnership for better, bigger, smarter innovations. Together, let's attain Agri 4.0.
Okay, so sorry for the technical difficulties earlier. So we were able to learn about SEARCA's Emerging Innovation for Growth programs initiatives to attain Agriculture 4.0 through open collaboration, agri-incubation, and technology transfer in line with SEARCA's goal towards accelerating transformation through agricultural innovation or attain. So yep, that was their AVP. So to start our program and share with us a talk on the research direction, let us all give a warm welcome to Dr. Noel Catibog, Director of TTPD Picard. Good afternoon, sir.
Would not. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Thank you for inviting Picard to be part of this virtual annual Technology Transfer Day of the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, an event spearheaded by the Technology Transfer and Business Development Office, or TTBDO. I believe that this activity would not be possible without the support of UPLB management, led by Chancellor Jose V. Camacho Jr., Vice Chancellor for Research and Extension, Dr. Merdilyn Leet, Assistant Vice Chancellor Fides Tambalo, and TTBDO Director Romel Carlos. Congratulations to the organizers of this activity, the team of TTBDO Project Phase 2, headed by Prof. Glenn Baticados. You have a very impressive lineup of activities in this three-day event, with both foreign and local resource speakers who are known experts in their fields. I would also like to acknowledge our team from the TTPD DPITC, or the DOST Picard Innovation and Technology Center. The UPLB TTBDO is a key member of our network of intellectual property and technology business management offices composed of 51 SUCs and RDIs. Overall, in the last 3 years, they have filed almost 1,300 IP applications for patents, utility models, trademarks, and copyrights. And this is an unprecedented number in the ANR sector. Moreover, more than 30 technologies have been licensed to private partners, with 50 plus technologies undergoing negotiations for their transfer. The number could have been more, if not for the limitations set by the COVID-19 pandemic since last year. Technology pitch days such as what you are holding in this event are integral in facilitating technology commercialization. As such, we are very thankful for these virtual initiatives. To our technology pitchers, when it is your turn to pitch, take a deep breath, own the stage, seize the moment, and be as convincing as possible. Let your passion excite your audience and potential investors in the same way that you are convinced that your technology can truly help its intended users. Treat it as similar to describing your child to a listener, with passion and love evident in your words. But if a researcher is truly convinced of the commercial potential of his or her technology, maybe it is high time to consider putting up a startup business that would commercialize the technology, with the researcher as company owner or one of the investors. We are currently implementing a grant program to support startups. Maybe you can qualify. Now to the task at hand. What are DOST Picard's funding priorities in the next few years? DOST Picard will continue to be guided by the Harmonized National R&D Agenda or HNRDA, which was crafted a few years ago by DOST, DA, DTI, and DNR. For specific commodities, our priority areas are indicated in the Industry Strategic S&T Plan or ISPs for more than 30 commodities. Kindly visit our website for guidance, or you may also directly contact our ISP manager so you will know what areas still need to be addressed in our ISPs. Now, to our guests from the private sector, if you have technology needs or gaps in your operations that can be addressed through R&D, please discuss with UPLB and the concerned researchers. You are highly encouraged to come up with proposals that can be funded through the Collaborative Research and Development to Leverage Philippine Economy or CRADLE under the Science for Change program of DOST. Again, please visit our website to learn more about CRADLE and the three other components of S4C such as NICER, RDLEAD, and BIST. Now, in the next 2 months, DOST Picard and 18 SUCs and RDIs will be conducting consultation meetings with key stakeholders of 18 commodities, for example, goat, mango, shrimp, banana, etc., to come up with research gaps and technology needs of the industry. Well, we'll have 19 if UPLB TTBDO will consider this to form part of their Phase 3 proposal. Once we have this information, we will then scour patent databases through a process called patent mining. This way, our future R&D efforts will be guided by what a particular industry actually needs and by what guidance patent information can provide. By the end of this year, we will have patent mining reports that can serve as the basis for new proposals on research and technology transfer. These reports will help us identify new areas for research, what patented technologies can be worked on to develop our own, and which ones can be readily adapted under local conditions. But in order to come up with truly meaningful reports, stakeholder participation during consultations is key. As such, we are really hoping for the active participation of our national university, UPLB, and our partners from the private sector. Please watch out for our announcements on the consultation schedules, and we fervently hope that you will actively participate. In parting, I am looking forward to the success of this activity. Good luck to our pitchers. I hope your technologies will go beyond this event. And congratulations again to the TTBDO and the project team for organizing this 3-day event. Muli, magandang araw po at maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you for that enlightening and insightful talk, Director Katibog. So before we begin our pitching session presentation, please take note of the following reminders. So a maximum of 5 minutes will be allowed for the presentation of each technologies. For the participants, take note of all of your questions during the presentation. After the presentation of the technologies, we will proceed with the Q&A portion of the webinar. Lastly, participants can mention whom their questions are directed to during the Q&A. So just mention the technology first, then type in your questions. Sounds good? Okay. So let us now begin with the pitching presentation, starting with WillCure.
Good day, everyone. In one of the episodes of our NETPitch Kapihan series, I will be presenting WillCure, one of UPLB's technologies ripe for commercialization. For starters, we know that plant diseases have been a constant companion to our farmers. It limits their production while incurring costs for disease management. For example, in solanaceous crops, losses due to vascular wilt caused by fungi Fusarium oxysporum is amounting to 100,000 to 150,000 pesos, and that is per hectare of planting area. To reduce these losses, farmers usually rely on synthetic chemicals for control and prevention of these diseases, or in some severe cases, they resort to burning. However, it is also known that chemical pesticides and fungicides result to environmental pollution and other social and economic problems. Our solution is WillCure. It is a product developed by Dr. Eufrosino Marfori from UPLB Biotech. The technology has proven its merit for patent protection and is currently awaiting its patent certification. WillCure is a biopesticide formulated from callus and microbe co-culture. It was proven to be effective in controlling Fusarium wilt in solanaceous crops, particularly eggplant, tomato, and hot pepper, where it has undergone field testing. WillCure is safe and non-toxic to living things and is eco-friendly. Aside from prevention and control of Fusarium wilt, it can also improve plant height and fruit yield. The technology is in powder form, which can be applied as a seed coating during germination or via direct application to soil. It is a safer pest management that is as effective as commercially available chemical fungicides, while also improving plant quality and crop yield. Based on the field tests conducted, application of WillCure can reduce production cost by 5,000 pesos per hectare. This is achieved by applying WillCure amounting to 1,000 pesos as opposed to the 7,000 to 10,000 pesos per hectare currently allotted for chemical pesticide application. In the Philippines, tomato, eggplant, and hot pepper, which are high-value crops, has a collective planting area of around 44,000 hectares. WillCure can help these farms do away with chemical pesticides for controlling Fusarium wilt while also increasing their net income. For further information on WillCure, you may contact UPLB TTBDO. Thank you. Good day, everyone.
Okay, so thank you for that. Up next, we have High Yeast.
Hello everyone, I'm Joshua Bacalanco and I'm here to present the next technology in our list. Did you know, of all the harvested fruits and vegetables here in the Philippines, an estimated 20 to 25% of total produce are decayed due to pathogens during post-harvest handling. This also means that while the fruits and vegetables are in transit from farms to markets, these pathogens develop and spread. Currently, the use of microbial antagonists are becoming popular and seems to be a promising solution to these so-called pathogens. And while traditional chemicals are used to control these pathogens, this is toxic to the organisms and microorganisms living in the soil. And with that, I'm introducing to you High Yeast, developed by Dr. Severina BX Conde from the National Institute of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology in the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. High yeast is a biofungicide powder which addresses the problem of fruit and vegetable decay in post-harvest handling. This is an organic fungicide which is safe for the environment and its living organisms. Through the development of this technology, it is beneficial for major crops such as banana and mangoes. Additionally, the use of this biofungicide can eliminate the use of chemicals in post-harvest handling. For the key benefits of using high yeast, number 1, decreased decay of produce in post-harvest. This means a decrease in the incidence of decay in the harvest will result in a higher quantity of good produce, thus increasing the potential income of the farmer. Number 2, it is a cheap alternative to chemical fungicides. The use of chemical fungicides has been a tradition amongst farmers, but switching to high yeast will decrease the fungicide costs of farmers significantly. This, in turn, will also increase the potential income of the farmers. 3, since high yeast is a biofungicide, it is made from naturally occurring microorganisms and is purely organic. The use of this technology will be safe for humans, animals, and microorganisms. In the development of high yeast, a pool of samples were used in testing its efficacy. Among these are banana, mango, onion, eggplant, tomato, and calamansi. Table 1.1 discusses the volume of production per crop here in the Philippines for the years to 2015 to 2019. As you can see, majority of the volume produced consists of banana, which comprises of 85% or 9,157,700 metric tons of banana in the Philippines. The same is valued highest at 180,737.8 in millions of pesos. For the distribution of these farms, we refer to Table 1.3. For banana, the largest market for high yeast will be Mindanao, which houses 84.2% of all banana farms in the Philippines. The top 3 areas which contribute to the production of banana are Davao region, which is the highest, Northern Mindanao, and Sorsogon, respectively. For mango, the region with the largest production of mango is Luzon, particularly in the Ilocos region. Mindanao follows Luzon for the second highest production of mango, particularly in the Zamboanga Peninsula. These data came from the Philippine Statistics Authority, namely their selected statistics for agriculture for 2019. That's all for the market of high yeast. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, so don't forget to take note of any questions that you may have for our question and answer later. Okay, so we can now proceed. Up next, we have Micromix.
Good day, everyone, and here we are again in another episode of our NETPitch Kapihan series. This time, we'll talk about Micromix. It is widely known that huge amounts of fertilizers are being used in solanaceous crops and cucurbits to maintain product yield and quality. This in turn results to higher costs of farm inputs and increased risk of environmental effects, including adverse effects to farmers. Given that, here's a question for everyone. Is it possible to reduce excessive use of chemical stimulants and fertilizers but still improve the growth and yield of crops? The answer is yes, and it is provided by Micromix. The product is developed by Dr. Manix Pedro from UPLB Biotech, and patent protection for this technology is currently in the works. Micromix is a biostimulant composed of a consortium of bacteria that enhances growth of crops, particularly for bell pepper and bitter gourd. This technology can lessen production costs often incurred by farmers of high-value crops who are faced with high cost of farm inputs. Moreover, this biostimulant does not only target bell peppers and bitter gourds, but also other solanaceous crops and cucurbits, which are known to use up massive amounts of synthetic fertilizers. Micromix is easy to adapt and use. The seeds only need to be moistened and coated with the biostimulant, and then it can be directly planted the following day. Field trials have been conducted to test the reliability, usability, and adaptability of micromix in Batangas, Quezon, and Nueva Vizcaya. Results showed that there was an increase in yield by 29.87% upon the use of micromix. For the market trend on bitter gourd, it comprises a little less than 11,000 hectares of land in the Philippines with a total national production of 89,862.95. With Central Luzon as the highest producing region with a total production of around 25,000 metric tons. Bitter gourds are heavy consumers of fertilizers, thereby increasing the cost of production. Fertilizer requirement for bitter gourd is 181.8043 kilograms per hectare and requires 5 to 10 tons per hectare of organic fertilizers. According to our inventor, Dr. Pedro, the total production cost is at 125,604 pesos per hectare, and the industry is valued at 2.6 billion pesos. As for bell pepper, one of the major producing regions in the country is the Cordillera Administrative Region, wherein 45% of the national production is produced. Bell peppers require 90-80-30 kilograms per hectare of fertilizer with an average production cost of 132,000 pesos per hectare. According to the Bureau of Agricultural Statistics, approximately 13,000 metric tons of bell peppers are produced each year with an annual growth rate of 1.78%. Moreover, bell peppers were valued at 273 million pesos in 2013. Through the use of micromix, these farms can improve their crop production without the excessive use of fertilizers, thereby reducing its harmful effects to the soil as well as reducing the production cost. For more information on micromix, you may contact UPLB-TPBDO. Thank you.
So that was Micromix. We are now down to the last two pitching presentations, starting with Natura Grow Fertilizer.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And let's talk about organic. What comes to your mind when you hear the word organic? Does it have a good ring to it? Will you buy it? Nowadays, consumers are more wary of the products they use. They no longer focus only on the benefits of these products, but also consider. In the case of farming, various concerns arise due to the harmful effects of continued use of synthetic chemical fertilizers on the environment. Because of this, organic fertilizers gained popularity in the recent years. However, nutrient management and organic fertilizer inputs for both the organic farms and those under conversion are lacking. So, to address this problem, Dr. Basilda M. Calub, a researcher from the College of Agriculture and Food Science in UPLB, developed a new organic fertilizer which aims to benefit the farmers by increasing their crop productivity and profitability while reducing their dependence on costly synthetic fertilizer. And it is called Natura Grow Fertilizer. So what is this, you say? It is a liquid organic plant supplement made from fermented cacahuate extract, banana corm, and fish emulsion for the improved flowering and fruiting of various plants. It may be applied through soil drenching or foliar spraying. In general, organic fertilizers are gentle in nature as they consist of NPK ratio below 10. This means that they will not burn roots and foliage unlike chemical fertilizers. However, organic fertilizers take long periods of time to break down. So, nutrients may not be released as soon as needed. To solve this problem, the present invention utilized the fermentation of plant and animal extracts. Since fermentation degrades organic fertilizer prior to application, this will result to the early release of macro and micronutrients in the solution. So what are the features of this product? These are the actual results of the study conducted for the development of this fertilizer. Field validation was done to evaluate the efficacy of the organic plant supplement. It was found that the germination rate and mean marketable yield increased, while plant mortality decreased after the application of this invention to the existing organic practices. As you can see in the graph, field testing was done in UPLB and Quezon. Interestingly, presence of lactic acid bacteria and yeast can be observed after fermentation. Lactic acid bacteria, when inoculated into the soil, increases rate of release of nutrients, while yeast increases the nitrogen and phosphorus content of roots and shoots of tomato. The results of the chemical composition of the fertilizer shows that it is at par with the known brand already present in the market. So given these informations, what are the potentials of this organic fertilizer in the market? First, there is an increased demand for organic food. Why? People are becoming more health conscious and shift their preference to organic food. In fact, from 2011 to 2017, a total of 349,041 hectares of agricultural area was converted into organic farming in the Philippines. Furthermore, since the population is rapidly increasing, there is a pressure to maximize the production for food security, while of course aiming to minimize the negative impacts to the environment. With this, some Filipino farmers modified their farming practices through the use of fertilizers. In addition, organic vegetable production is the system that does not use costly synthetic and harmful toxic chemicals to produce fresh vegetables. And the vegetable sector in the Philippines has a lot of potential in terms of growth. In 2016, 182,552 hectares of land produced 1.5 million metric tons of fresh vegetables with a yield of 8.58 tons per hectare. So to summarize, this cacahuate fertilizer utilizes locally available raw materials, making it cheaper compared to commercially available synthetic fertilizers. With a decrease in production cost and increase in crop yield, this will definitely increase the farmer's income. So that's it for our Natural Grow fertilizer. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you for that presentation. And last but definitely not least, we have the Natura Grow microbial inoculant.
Hello everyone. Let's move on to the last technology for today. Vegetable crops' germination rate can be directly associated with its yield. The increased germination rate of a crop would mean the reduction of raw material expense of a farmer, along with the increase of potential income. Despite traditional farmers' hesitance to adopt new technology, some of them are willing to try and purchase a product given a financial benefit in the adoption of the technology. Dr. Blesilda Calub of the Agricultural Systems Institute, College of Agriculture and Food Science, UPLB, has developed cacahuate microbial inoculant under the branding Natura Grow. This technology is currently in a granular form and is primarily developed to help farmers achieve increase in organic vegetable productivity and profitability. The formulation contains metabolites which supports enhanced growth and development of the crops. Additionally, this technology comprises of abundant organic raw materials. Key benefits of Natura Grow microbial inoculant includes increased rate of germination of vegetables. The less waiting time of farmers means the faster crops will mature and can be harvested. It also offers maximized plant growth and performance. This equates to a higher quality produce, which can demand a higher selling price in the market. And lastly, it is non-toxic to the environment. Since the composition is purely organic, there are no harmful effects in the usage of the technology. For the market of this technology, we look at three crops that were part in its development: onions, carrots, and tomatoes. Table 1.1 discusses the volume of production per crop here in the Philippines for the years 2015 to 2019. Tomato has the highest volume of production from the three crops. Despite the low volume of production for carrots, this can be increased with the help of microbial inoculant. While onions are on par with tomatoes in terms of volume of production, the value of onions is far superior than that of tomatoes. For onions, the area with the largest production is Central Luzon at 57.04%, followed by Ilocos region and the Mimaropa region. Tomatoes, on the other hand, has the largest production in Ilocos region, followed by Central Visayas and the Zamboangas Peninsula. Lastly, the bulk of carrot production belongs to the Cordillera Administrative Region with an overwhelming 70.55%, followed by Central Visayas with a value of 12.87%. The data used in this presentation came from the Philippine Statistics Authority and its selected statistics on Agriculture 2020. That's all for the market of Natura Grow Cacahuate Microbial Inoculant. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so that sums up our pitching presentations for this afternoon. We can now proceed to the next part of the program, which is the question and answer for our panelists and inventors that are here in this webinar. Please turn on your camera so that our participants can see your beautiful faces. Hello po and good afternoon. So before we begin, please take note of the following reminders. This is a guideline for the question and answer. Okay, so please feel free to use the Zoom Q&A chat box and type in those questions. For those who are watching the stream via Facebook, key in those questions in the comment section. I will read them for you. Lastly, participants can mention whom their questions are directed to during the Q&A. So just mention the technology first, then type in your questions. So I hope everything is clear. So let's now start with the Q&A. Okay, so first question, this is directed towards Micromix. So I think, yep, this is a clarification question. So when you say kilogram per hectare fertilizers, fertilizer rates, in terms of kilogram NPK per hectare naman, ano po?
Yes po, if according to our pitch presentation, when we refer to fertilizer application rate, it means NPK po, kilogram per hectare. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for answering that question. So we have another one here. Okay, so which of these are available for use? Especially interested in Natura Grow. Okay, wait lang. Where's that? Oh, okay, there. Kung patent pending, di pa po ba pwede magamit or ma-promote?
We're actually doing now confirmatory tests with different kinds of vegetable seeds. Yeah.
Okay po. Okay, thank you, ma'am, for answering that question. So yeah, we see here another question. This is directed towards wilt cure. Are you open to trials for other crops that experience fusarium wilt? How will we able to get hold of the product?
Yes po. I believe Will Cure and the team of Dr. Eufrosino Marfori will be very much open in a collaboration like this, since Will Cure has only been tested for tomato, eggplant, and hot pepper. So application of Will Cure to other crops that are experiencing fusarium wilt will be an advantageous collaboration for us and also for the industry. If an industry wants to get a hold of a product, we need to have an agreement between UPLB and your company for a materials transfer and a research service agreement so that we can turn over materials to you and you can use it for field trials. And you can also consult our experts and the team of Dr. Marpori for this collaboration.
Okay, so I hope that answered your question to whoever asked the question. So um, let's wait for a few more questions that our participants may have. So thank you. Of course, before we proceed, we would like to say thank you to our participants who attended this webinar series. So hopefully, meron pa po tayong karagdagang mga tanong para sa ating mga panelists, especially dahil nandito rin yung iba nating mga inventors. Okay, so there you go. We have another question. This is from Miss Lorna. So can we get in touch with Dr. Kalub for more info on Natura Grow for organic vegetation production po?
Yes, please. You can course uh, questions from TTBDO. No, they know how to contact me.
Okay, so there you go, Miss Lorna. So
Excuse me? Yes. In addition to that lang po, we will show a slide later containing contact details of UPLBTT-BDO. So any further inquiries that you may have, you may direct them to us and we will relay them to our inventors.
okay, so there you go. Okay, so we have another question from the participants. This is directed towards Natura Grow inoculant. So how is this used and applied po? Can this be dissolved in water first before application and on what ratio?
It's a microbial inoculant when you have your seedlings. No, not yet. When you sow your seeds in the seedling tray, we put a little bit of the powder. It's powder form, which is a little bit moist. So we like a small pinch that you drop on top of the seeds.
Okay po. So ma'am,
Ano
thank you.
siya, ready to use.
Okay po. Okay, so we have another question coming from Mr. Norman Joel Vargas. So I think this is directed towards Micromix. Just by seed coating yields will be increased as presented. Does it mean do away with any synthetic ferts? So Miss Aina?
Yes, hello. Thank you, Sir Norman Vargas, for this question. Yes, micromix is used as seed coating. Uh, you coat the seeds before you plant them, and then it will take effect when it's growing. It will improve the crop yield and the quality of produce that you will be able to produce from your crops. So when we say biostimulants, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can do away with synthetic fertilizers, especially this is used for seed coating only. Um, we can only guarantee an increase in yield with decreased use of synthetic fertilizers.
Okay, there you go.
Hope
So
I answered your question. Thank you.
okay, thank you so much for that, Miss Buwan. So we have another question. This is directed towards high yeast. Has the researcher tried food safety examinations for the technology, given that the biofungicide is directly applied to the harvest? So is it water soluble and can it be easily removed when ready to consume?
Hi, regarding high yeast, actually the researcher has deemed that the high yeast is non-toxic, it's food safe, but there is a lack of certification from the Food and Drug Administration. But all in all, it's fairly safe to eat by human beings. Just the certification is lacking.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Mr. Bacalangco. And okay, we have another question on the board. So what is the difference of Natura Grow with Carrageenan PDS? I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Natura Grow, in our case, is the trademark, but we have different kinds of products. For now, it was presented. Two of the products were presented, but we have actually three. So it's different. Carrageenan is from seaweed, and for us, we are using Lyricidia, cacahuate leaves, and other plant biomass.
Mhm. Okay po, ma'am. Thank you po for that answer. And again, it's carrageenan. I'm sorry, not carrageenan. Okay, so this is also directed towards Natura Grow. So let's continue with this. How stable is the Natura Grow if bacteria are present in the said fertilizer? How will they stay viable? And is there an expiry date?
Of course, we always have expiry date for we produce also liquid plant supplement, and for that we did the storage life studies, and what we were seeing is that the the kind of microorganisms will change through time. The different kinds of microorganisms will come in at different points of the keeping of the shelf life, and then the same is also true for chemicals, for especially for nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. There is a time where it's the nitrogen which is quite high, and then there's also a certain period where it's the nitrogen shifts to becomes less, and then it's the phosphorus which gets high. So we tried to do that, but yeah, it's the challenge for us is by the end of the 1 year observation period that we did, the this is I'm talking about the liquid plant supplement. It's still good. The NPK is still there, but the amount is very small already, and then also the microorganisms. We were not able to do the profiling of the microorganisms after 1 year. Only up to 6 months.
Mm. Okay po. Thank you so much, Ma'am Caleb, for answering that question. I hope nalinawan po tayo, Sir Noel. So, okay, we have here another question. This is directed towards wilt cure. So, this is from Mr. Norman Vargas. Has or have there been any large-scale trials conducted in the banana plantations in Mindanao in the recent past?
So far, we haven't tested or conducted any field trials in banana, but we are open for a collaboration so that we can conduct these field trials. After all, we recognize that Fusarium wilt also targets banana crops.
Okay, so I hope your question has been answered. And okay, so let's move on to the next question. This will be for all the products. Okay, so are the technologies slash researchers exploring on new possible applications? Because each has a specific crop of application. Can the industry give target crops for research, and will companies pay for it? So I think we can start with Will Cure.
All right. Definitely, as I mentioned earlier, we are very much open in exploring new applications of wheel cure to other crops or for larger field trials. The industry definitely can suggest a crop wherein we can test the product. After all, this is why we conduct these kinds of events so that we could get feedback from our industry and that our research will remain relevant. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Okay, so next po, let's ask from High East.
Hi. Actually, all these technologies can undergo collaborative agreements with industry players. So through these industry collaborative agreements, we can propose a project that can test the technologies on other crops. In turn, the industry can have its first dibs rights on the technology, and they can also license it. So that can be a process for expanding the target crops of each technology. This goes for all technologies as well,
Yeah.
not just for high yeast.
Okay, so let us now proceed to the next one, which is Natura Grow.
Um, I totally conform with Mr. Joshua's words, no? That we are always open for partnerships. We will do the research in terms of what is the need of the industry. If they want us to test for specific crops, then we can do that.
Okay po, thank you so much for that answer. So lastly, we have for micromix naman po.
All right. I think for Micromix, it will conform with everyone's answer. Definitely, it is open for collaboration for industry players. And apart from that, if we enter into a collaborative agreement, whatever that is, a research service agreement, you will have first, we will offer you first the licensing for the technology.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering that question. Let's have another question for all the products again. Okay, so here's the question on the board. So for all of these products, how far are you from getting FTA registration, or where are you in this process? So siguro yung order na lang ulit like earlier, ganun na lang ulit. So let's start with Wilcure.
I would have to defer this question to our inventor, but unfortunately, he is not available for this event. So, if maybe you could just forward this question to UPLBTTBDO email, which will be flashed later, and then we will forward to you the answer.
Okay, so let's now proceed with high yeast.
Hi. I would like to request assistance, and let's acknowledge Miss Vita because she's the representative for the highest technology. Miss Vita, please assist on the answering the question, please.
Good afternoon. In behalf of Dr. Exconia, I would like to answer that. But as unfortunately, the project has not yet started with the FTA registration. But I'm very certain that as we've processed everything soon enough, siguro po we'll have that FTA registration. Thank you.
Okay po. So let us proceed to the next one, which is Natura Grow.
Yeah, good afternoon. Since our product is an organic product, so we will not be registered through FPA. Our registration will be through BAFs. But right now we have already attained we have already our formulation meeting the Philippine national standards for organic soil amendments. So what we're doing right now is to standardize to make sure that every batch that we make, we have uniform quality products. And after registration from BAFs, then we will have to be no, I think we have to be certified first by a third party certifying agent before we will go for BAF's registration. So medyo complicated ang organic inputs. Yeah.
Okay po. So thank you po for answering that question. So okay, Mary nag-raise po ng hand sa ating participant. So let me call on Mr. Raymond Canoza, one of our participants po. Yan. Yan po. Sir, pa-unmute na lang po ng inyong microphone. Thank you po. Okay, so baka yata na busy yata si Sir Raymond or baka may technical problem. Okay, so yeah, we have another one. May nag-raise ulit ng hand sa ating participant. So maybe call on Miss Julieta Anarna. So,
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon
Rinig
po.
po? Rinig na? Okay.
Yes po.
I just want to answer in behalf of Biotech, like Micromix as the program leader of the agriculture group. Regarding the FTA, we are processing the product registration. And also, I think with WillCure, with Dr. UP, ongoing po yung mga experiments for registration ng kanilang products. Thank you.
Yun, okay po. So maraming salamat po sa pagsagot ng katanungan na iyon. So let us proceed to another set of questions. So we have here on the board, this is directed towards Naturagrow fertilizer. So gaano karami ang kailangan per hectare and magkano ang magiging estimated cost per hectare?
Okay. For the microbial inoculant, according to our computation, we would need 25 kilograms per hectare, depending on the crops, no? And depending on how many times you want to crop. But this one we computed for at least 2 crops of fruiting vegetables. And then you can compute for the cost. It's about 1,000 pesos per kilogram. So times 25 kilograms, then you need 25,000 pesos per kilogram for microbial inoculant. For compost, if you apply at 5 tons, this is the minimum, 5 tons per hectare. And then I don't have the price for 1 ton is about 8,000 pesos. 1 ton. So times 5, so that would be 40,000 per ton. And then for the liquid plant supplement, we computed for 125 liters per hectare, because for the liquid plant supplement, we dilute it, so you don't need much, but you have to apply it every week.
Mhm.
So that's the catch there.
Okay po. So thank you po for answering again that question. Actually, we have another one po for Naturagrow po ulit. So for both Naturagrow, is cacahuate abundant given that the product will be commercially produced?
Yes, it's very abundant, and it's easy to plant. So if there's a need to plant, then we can plant it usually along the borders of farms. And the beauty of that is that it's a very hardy crop. It will grow even in barren soils. So it's easy to grow it, and that's the other advantage of it, because when you plant it like a farm, then we are also able to increase the quality of the soil. I mean, to improve the quality of the soil and prevent erosion.
Okay po. So thank you very much po for answering that question again, Ms. Kalu. Okay, so we have 2 more questions. I think this is both directed for high yeast. So the first question is, what are the pathogens that high yeast is preventing from growing? If there are specific pathogens that it targets for each produce. So again, the question is, what are the pathogens that high yeast is preventing from growing? If there are specific pathogens that it targets for each.
Hi, good afternoon. As per the study that was conducted by Dr. Exconde and her team, for example, it is targeted specific for each of the agricultural commodity. Like for example, for banana, the microorganism that is targeted is C. musae, and then for calamansi, we have penicillium. And specifically for other crops, specifically for onion and garlic, we have Aspergillus flavus. So again, there is a targeted pathogens for each of the crops or agricultural commodity.
Okay po. So maraming salamat po sa pagsagot sa question na yun. So again, I think this is another question for for high yeast. So technically it says for post-harvest application only, or does the product have fungal control while crops or fruits are still in the field? And what specific fungus is being controlled or suppressed? Thank you. This is from Mr. Norman Vargas.
Specifically, HIES is for post-harvest, but there are studies that were conducted for a field experiment. But again, the study focuses mainly on the post-harvest application, and for the fungus that were suppressed or controlled. So again, it is targeted based on a specific post-harvest commodity.
Okay po. So thank you so much, Ma'am Vita, for answering that question. So okay, so we have here. Oh, okay. So earlier, Miss Julieta was raising her hand. So do you have anything to say po, ma'am? Ma'am Juliet? Oh, there you go.
I just press, napindot ko lang yung ano. Sorry.
Okay po. No problem po, ma'am. It's okay.
Thank you.
Sige po. Thank you rin po. So, okay, let's now proceed to the next question. So, this is directed towards wilt cure and micromix. So, used as seed coating. Can you tell us more about the method of application? How is it done? So, let's start with wilt cure.
All right. I'm sorry, I was on mute. So for wilt cure, we can apply it to plants in two ways. So first, we can use it as a seed coating. So method of preparation includes dissolving the powder form of wilt cure in clean water, soaking, not really soaking, but coating the seeds with the solution and then proceed to planting. Next method is by direct application to soil. So we dug little holes around the plant and then we put the wilt cure in there and cover it with soil and watering the plants. And next, for micromix, it is also used as a seed coating. However, its method of preparation is different. So first, you need to moisten the seeds and then you coat it with the dry micromix before you plant it. So that's it po.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering that question. So, so far on the board, we only have one more question. So, kung may mga tanong pa po kayo na naiisip, just type it in our Q&A section. And for those po na nanonood sa Facebook via live stream, if you have any more questions, i-type nyo lang po and then we'll answer it for you. Okay? So, okay, so let's now move on to the next question. This is actually a follow-up on high yeast. So if we pursue a field application or trial, will this initiative be welcome? If okay, whom to contact please? Thanks. Sabi po ni Mr. Norman Vargas.
Hi, Sir Norman. Actually, you can contact TTBDO because this will fall under the category of collaborative research agreement. Like we mentioned before, TTBDO will be in partnership with an industry player, and they will use the technology and collect data from it, and will try to improve the technology based on what the industry has acquired. So I hope that answers your question. Ma'am Vita, if you have any other inputs?
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay po. So I think nasagot na po ang katanungan. So okay, right now we don't have any more questions on the board. So siguro po last call for questions. Meron pa po tayong katanungan ba? Kailangan i-clarify. Okay, going once, going twice, and okay po. So thank you everyone for actively participating in our question and answer. Maraming salamat din po sa inventors na nandito ngayon. So recognize din po natin sila for answering those questions that you had. So thank you. Oh, wait lang. Parang may humabol pa yata tayo. Ayun, okay. So this will be the last question for this afternoon's pitching. So, okay, magbibigay po ba kayo ng pamphlet para po sa mga diniscuss ninyo po para po magamit namin sa pagsasaka? So, yeah, I think this applies to all the technologies po.
I guess I'll answer na lang din po. Yes, we can provide pamphlets, especially for the method of using the said fertilizers discussed in today's pitching.
Okay po. So, maraming salamat po sa inyong katanungan and sa pagsagot po. Okay, so should you have any more questions which the panelists and inventors were not able to answer due to time constraints, please send those questions via email. Actually, it's going to be flashed on your screens. There you go. Just contact UPLB Technology Transfer and Business Development Office through ctte.uplb@up.edu.ph. Okay, so let's now proceed to the next part of our program. So now, to give us a presentation on the next steps towards commercialization, let us welcome Ms. Jaliza Maye Halbuena, Technology Transfer Officer from the UPLB TTBDO.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for watching our pitch presentations on different technologies for sustainable farming. We hope that you enjoyed the presentations and that you learned a lot from our presenters and panelists for today. And of course, we would like to work with you and your company towards the commercialization of these technologies. That's why TTPDO is open to explore the following partnerships with you, such as licensing agreement, pre-commercialization agreement, further trials and development through RSA, and market scanning through marketing agreement. We are also open to other collaborations and partnerships. Just send us a letter of intent addressed to Dr. Jose V. Camacho Jr., Chancellor of University of the Philippines, Las Bañas, together with a short background of your company or your profile as an individual. Also indicate the type of partnership that you are seeking with us. Thank you so much, and if you have further inquiries or clarification regarding potential partnerships, you may just contact me and my fellow technology transfer officer through the contact details on the screen. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Okay, so thank you for that very informative talk on the next steps toward commercialization, Ms. Halbuena. So on your screens, probably in a bit. Okay, there you go. That's actually the teaser for the event on Friday, which is April 23, which is Kapihan 2021, NETPitch Season 2, Food and Agriculture. So we are inviting everyone to please attend this webinar as well. So again, we would like to say thank you to everyone who attended today's event. Before we officially end our program for this afternoon, let us all welcome Dr. Romel M. Carlos, Director of UPLB TTBDO, for the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for all the participants, the investors, inventors, all our staff. Thank you also to all our partners, and Picard. We have talked about sustainable agriculture, and definitely that's one of the niche that we have right now in UPLB. As we move forward, we look forward to a more in-depth collaboration with the industry players, as well as with the government. We would like to see a vibrant culture of agro-innovation and entrepreneurship. And we are interested in the market, in the industry, and in society. Another positive thing about what we're doing right now in UPLB is that as you look into commercializing our technology, there's also an option for you to locate here in UPLB, as we have a PESA zone here, we have two parks, an agro-industrial park and information technology park, wherein be closer to the mentors and pool of UPLB. We would like to see developments in genomics and virology, in advanced materials and nanotechnology, in food systems, and high-value agriculture. This is just probably a taste of what is to come, but in a typical environment, what will be good is to basically have to have face-to-face meetings, but the circum.
Okay, so I think Dr. Carlos encountered the technical difficulty on his closing remarks. Okay, so while we wait for Dr. Carlos, let's do a little recap on what happened earlier. Oh, there you go. Hi, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just turn off my video. Okay. So again, thank you very much. If you have interest in any of this technology, kindly contact us. And we look forward to collaborating and discussing with you. Have a great afternoon. Thank you all. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Carlos, for those insightful and inspiring words. So, as I've mentioned earlier, just a little recap. So, we had a pitching presentation for the following technologies. We had wilt cure, wilt cure, high yeast, micromix, and Natura Grow. So that's it. For our participants, we will send you a feedback form that you need to answer via email, which will help us generate your certificates of participation. I would also like to invite everyone on Friday, April 23, for the Technology Transfer Day 2 and Part 2 of the Kapihan Series 2021. So again, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone had a great time and learned a lot of things, especially from the pitching session and the question and answer portion. So again, if you have any more queries or concerns, you may send an email to the UPLB Techno Transfer and Business Development Office. It's ctpe.uplb@up.edu.ph. So this event would not be possible without the support of the following institutions. So UPLB TTBDO, SEARCA, and Picard. Thank you very much to our guests and participants who attended our webinar. So this has been your host, Neil, signing off. Take care and have a great day, everyone. I'll see you again on Friday. Okay, God bless you all.